You're a new gardener, your tomatoes are doing great, you got some flowers, you might even have some small tomatoes on there, but you're not real sure exactly what to do from this point because you see so much conflicting information on social media. First of all, if you see somebody that says, this is the way you need to be doing it, if you're doing it differently, you're doing it wrong, just keep scrolling. The only right way to do it is the way that works best for you in your specific situation. I'm gonna talk about a few different things that people get hung up on the most, I think, and one is gonna be pruning your sun leaves. I think everybody's going to be in agreement that you should prune off anything that's going to be touching the soil because that soil is where they're going to pick up any bacteria or fungus that's going to cause disease. I prune mine pretty heavy, but I do it gradually. You don't want to go crazy because they do need these. I'll do it as they're growing. Right now, anything that's touching the ground, I like to get it out of the splash zone if we get rain so it's not splashing that soil up onto those leaves. But as these grow, I'll keep pruning, and at some point it'll probably be about from here down that these don't have any leaves at all and they just kind of look like trees. Another thing you want to do to help prevent disease is to mulch. Not only will it help retain moisture in the soil, it will also prevent that bacteria and fungus from splashing up onto your leaves when it rains. I like to use straw to mulch my beds. Another thing people get hung up on is suckers and whether they should remove those or not. That is not a question with a yes or no answer. What you do with suckers is something you're really going to have to figure out on your own. You're just going to have to experiment and figure out what works best for you. The more suckers you let go, the bigger your plant's going to be. It's going to be more difficult to manage, and it's also going to be more difficult to prevent disease because you need airflow in with all those leaves. Most of my plants, I'll just start with one main stem till they get a certain height, then I'll start deciding what I want to do, if I want to let a few suckers go or not. Some varieties, like these early girls, I let one go. You can see this one here was one of the early suckers. Now I have two main stems on this. So I have two main stems on this now. I just want to let those go for a while. Later on, I'll decide if I want to let some more go, I will, but for now I don't. So any suckers I see, which this here, you'll have your main stem, your sun leaf, and this grows out from between those, I'm going to remove those for now. The way I grow these tomatoes keeps them very manageable, and it's also worked very well for me at preventing disease. You don't have to copy the exact way someone else is doing it just because you see that they're successful at doing it. Watch what other people are doing. You know, if you see a certain aspect of their method that you think would benefit you, go ahead and give it a shot. It may take a couple seasons, but you'll eventually get a system down that works well for you. Another tip I want to give you, especially for your heirloom varieties, is to look out for fasciated or cat face blooms. Those are going to be like the mutant looking flowers. They're real big, they kind of roll out almost like a double looking flower. If you see those, you want to get rid of them immediately because they can stunt your plants. I've had plants get stunted from those and they never recovered. Sometimes they'll grow just fine with those, but it's not worth the risk. Get rid of them, your plants will be much more productive if you do. I don't just tie my tomatoes off to these T-posts. I actually put cages on these, which I'm going to be doing here pretty soon. So if you want to see how I grow these tomatoes and build those cages, make sure you follow.